So I'm gonna do it's kind of an early review because I've barely had this thing. I've typically had this real simple Jaguar black type e-cigarette vapor thing, whatever you want to call it, and it pretty much stopped working on me, so I was gonna get another one anyways, and I was thinking, well, why don't I pour a little bit of money into something that's gonna work? And I've always heard good stuff about Kanger, so I went ahead and got that, and it was the whole kit, because I figured, I don't exactly know what atomizers to buy for the thing if I just got it by itself. So a kit made sense because it had everything to get started, different atomizers if you want to try different kinds, and so you can mess around with different temperatures depending on what kind of coils you have. Now, everything was pretty good until I noticed there was I wanted to change out the first atomizer. After adding liquid, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna change it out. So I went ahead and I changed it out and closed everything up, and first I noticed gurgling. There was a little bit of flooding into the coil. Not a big deal, it happens sometimes because too much liquid filters through the cotton is what happens. No big deal. Take it out, blow it out, clean it out a little bit, and maybe like fire it a couple times without hitting it, and should be good to go. And so we were good for a little while, and then I actually tried to use this Scorpion RDA on top of this, and reading through in a couple forums, people say, I don't know, it's kind of risky to use different decks like that on top of these things. I used it and it worked just fine. There was no issues. And so, you know, every once in a while as well, it'll ask on your Kanger new atomizer if you replace the atomizer, and if you did, of course, you select yes, and no if you didn't. Makes sense, right? Well, I was having issues with the flashing 9.99 ohms, and it didn't matter what I put on it. I changed the atomizers, right? Well, what would you select when it says new atomizer? Yes. So I kept selecting it, and it still read every single time. It read out 9.99 ohms. Like there was just no connection there. Nothing was making a connection. I thought, gosh, that's weird. The thing's brand new, number one. Number two, it was working just fine. Haven't dropped it. I thought, okay, maybe I pushed some things down a little bit too hard. Loosened the atomizer on the inside there. Loosened the deck a little bit. Maybe the deck was pushing down too hard and pushing the 510 connection down too hard. And then I finally said, finally I got the new atomizer yes or no thing again, and I never had pressed no, but troubleshooting should tell you, try all different avenues. And I guess even if it's strange, so I selected no, and after I put my different atomizer, let's see which one I got in now. My NI nickel or something. You guys probably know better than I do, so feel free to correct me. I'm not a cloud chaser or whatever. I like to vape a little bit, so I got a decent one that works well. But yeah, I selected no, and it started working fine. It shows 0.26 ohms on the coil I have. I'm in temperature mode on it right now at 185 Celsius. It's a little high, but and I have the full your little air ports there opened up, and it's working fine now. I don't know. It was irritating. I mean, because I just bought the thing. You know, you spent some money, some decent money on something, you want it to work. But I guess it's just, there's little things you gotta notice on it, you know, different things you have to go through on it. So that's just to let you guys know, if you ever get the 9.99 ohms, you're changing out your atomizers, it still says 9.99 ohms, and it just absolutely won't fire, and it just keeps blinking that every time you try to fire. Try, when it asks new atomizer, yes or no. If you've been selecting yes, which should make sense reasonably if you're changing out the atomizer, just select no. And maybe it'll fix it for you. So, alright, that's all I got.